Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Nerdist the Human, and welcome back to our Timurid campaign. You join me as a jihad has been called to Constantinople, though of all places, obviously the home of our allies. So we won't be joining this jihad, which of course Egypt seemed to have joined up with. But yes, of course it does mean we'll be defending our allies. And by defending our allies, what I kind of mean is, well, letting them take the brunt of it, to be honest. Yeah, these lads are swung around here, so I'm guessing they're going to go join that crusade. That buys us a few turns, I think. As they go and swing off westward, we can, of course, just take our chance to swing into all of their cities. This should be pretty ideal for us, I think. We'll see what the Turks do, because they might actually stick at war with us. But certainly it should distract the Egyptians. This lad here has officially joined the crusade, so that will, well, certainly help us. Well, that's certainly going to be a positive thing going forward, and it gives us a chance just to actually, well, take a bit of a breath, because our money is going into the toilet, and we are going to have to go take some cities soon. So it allows us to focus our troops on Aleppo and Antioch, and if we can just chop off the Turks over here, that would be grand. That will leave them incredibly weak, it must be said, but also allow us to start focusing more on the Egyptians. And to be honest, longer term, if the Byzantines are a bit weakened in the longer term, that probably suits us. They're certainly not going to be forever friends, but for now, they're certainly going to be a welcome distraction. I'm glad we got that alliance under our toes. Under feet. I don't know. We've got an alliance anyway. Over to the Russians as well, who could do with getting on side potentially. I'm not sure what their current diplomacy status is. Allies, the allies of Hungary. So, yeah, they're also enemies with the Byzantines. So we'll see about that. They won't be allies straight away. It might be in time when we decide to turn on the Byzantines. So we'll see about that. Now, our lovely friends over there in Kiev seem to be holding out for now. The Polish, Hungarians and the Russians are all failing to go and deal with them. So, what are we going to do? I think we're going to start swinging more of our troops across towards Edessa. I'm just going to give the Egyptians another turn or so to move themselves across. I'm going to take my heavy just going to take my cavalry really. Swing them over here. That'll be fine, but we'll start to get them over towards Edessa, and then we will clear out these lads. With any luck, though, I'm just going to give the Turks a couple of turns. With any luck, they might join this jihad. Good news, the Moors have joined as well. I say good news, it's interesting news. It certainly means that the Byzantines aren't going to be growing anytime soon, but unfortunately it's not the Turks. But the Egyptian lads are officially getting out of my way, albeit there are still some heading over here, so we'll have to swing some of these lads, probably three. Let's get three of the heavy lads back towards Baghdad, but otherwise I'm quite happy to be sending this lad over in this direction. You can head towards Edessa. We'll soon be able to swing into Aleppo. Elsewhere, there's not a lot to do over here, because what I'd like to be doing is laying some watchtowers. Currently very much out of money. Luckily, there aren't really any negative effects with that. Egypt and Byzantine's got a truce. Why? Why? But you're on crusade. That's just weird. The AI is a very strange mischief, isn't it? Oh well. We've gained a little bit of a better agent over here. We can swing in this direction, because I think we've got a good sight of this lad, because he's by our watchtower. Maybe just take on the rebels, so that'd be helpful for me. The Egyptians, yep, they are finally declaring war. I sent my army over to the bridge here. We should be able to clear them out without too much trouble. No general, a few Mamelukes and some of their archers. Yeah, we'll be able to clear these out. I think we can hold off here, use the archers to clear them out. It might be an interesting one, mind you, but as long as they just throw themselves across the bridge, we shouldn't have too many issues. Let's head in. Straight into position on the bridge then. And it looks like they're just throwing themselves straight at us, which very much suits me. Guys go on to guard mode, and they're not going to do awfully well against us, I don't think. We'll be chopping those Mamluks down. That's their best unit gone straight away. Marvellous. And the archers can now all focus shooting into their pack there. Just get shooting away. So, this shouldn't be too tricky, should it? They are just throwing themselves to their deaths. And really, that's oh, it's all gone wrong for them immediately. All right, General, just charge across. That's fine. Cavalry, likewise, all of you swing across too. I don't think they're going to last very long. Some of them are starting to come back around. Honestly, I'm not sure they're going to last very long. Just want them to break immediately, to be honest. Not quite happening. No, it's a bit annoying actually. I'm just going to pull my cav back because they haven't quite managed to break, which means they've just managed to block off their guys to get us back into battle. So we will pull back. We'll let them charge into our cav, into our infantry again once more. They'll run away and we'll charge them across the bridge when they're all ready to break. Yeah, Warlord's running away. He has been slaughtered. Egypt's not picked a good way to begin this war. They're officially on full retreat at this point, so all cav head across, slaughter them all. So that's lucky. They sent their rubbish force to face us rather than their big force, who apparently went on jihad but seem to have not really done so properly. We'll send our main general in over there. We'll just start sending in random units into random places. But pretty much we're just waiting for the one unit who isn't routing to start routing. Yeah, they are indeed very broken. It's a very lush part of the river here. It's not looking too shabby. A few of them getting away, but honestly, only the odd chap here or there. What are we looking at? 92% gone, 20% of ours. A few heavy archers got killed when we tried to run across the bridge, which was unfortunate, but oh well, it's not the end of the world, eh? There's just a couple of them running away that direction too. Honestly though, at this point, they are all just going to melt away, so we'll quit there. Wow. Yep, going to only the most foolish of Egyptian generals. So peace have her victory as well. They might. I would like to ransom them. Nope. Nope. So, disaster strikes Aleppo. Ha ha ha! I don't know if that's anything to me. No, I seem to be okay. It might not have done that much to them though, I'm not sure. I can't really tell. Nonetheless, whatever this guy's doing. Russia don't like me. Great. Possibly because they found my spy, but he's only going to go spot the lovely rebel lads over here. Ooh. Alright, I did not make them 9 experience, by the way, but they've clearly held off a lot of attacks over here. They had about 12 units, various different things. Got some Kazakhs remain. Oh, they are other bare bones now, aren't they? It's a shame we're going to be a bit late to go and capture that, aren't we? But the the Kievan Rus are doing a good job of trying to stay alive there. Kind of wanted them to exist in the game. There are the rebel settlement, of course. I'm sure somewhere's rebelled by at some point in the game, so we should be okay. Right, retinue expands for that guy. Spy and commander, noble in rule for some chivalry. That's fine. If he wants to gain chivalry, we'll bear that in mind when dealing with future prisoners. We'll go and clear out this lad over here. Have to wait till next turn. Now, so it looks like the Egyptians might be easier pickings, but I can't help but thinking I should really get dealing with the Turks over here. I think once we take up this army, we'll be absolutely set. If that means I can swing some of these forces around, then that's probably what I need to do. It's annoying, it's just going to merge those two, isn't it? So we could possibly send some of these lads next time, but we'll have to see about that. And the Turks are indeed going to come in on the bridge outside of Aleppo. So the great city itself will be under our control pretty soon, I reckon, because I think we can win this. We've only got 2 infantry to hold the line, mind you. If they're going to come in with a couple units, that'll be fine. Their reinforcements, again, some Turkish javelin men who are not very good. And it's the full stack here that I'm worried about. 11 Steves over here. Otherwise, nothing good, no generals. Just a huge stack of men. Well, their morale should not be good, and with Khan Jacques the Honourable to face, I don't think we're going to be breaking anytime soon. We've got to see if Jacques can get himself to Antioch before his death, because he's starting to get on a bit, but this could be a huge day for us. In we go then to the bridge outside Aleppo.
The enemy bring more lambs to the slaughter. So be it. We will slaughter more lambs.
Well, that was a fairly simple speech, wasn't it? Right, slaughtering the lambs today. That very much suits me. We'll just get ourselves in a simple V formation over here. tons of horse archers to lay the fire. Just try and drag those a little bit closer. We'll turn off skirmish, of course. These guys can just get themselves in at a nice angle over there, and the rest of them can just plod along this hill. That'll be grand. We can just shoot them down. Just make sure all of our missiles are off skirmish. These guys started running away a bit. He's already running away. Now they're goats, but they're also lambs. Someone doesn't really know their animals very well, but it's all fine. We're in some sort of very weird semi-silk trim over here, but it seems to be doing the job, so I might just leave them for the moment. That's fine. Sometimes when you kill the first army too quickly, the others decide to not really enter the battlefield or just flee straight away and retreat. So I'm hoping it doesn't happen, because this is a good opportunity to take these lads out. These guys are well into the battlefield, so they are going to be heading in before too long. So we should be fine in that regard. We'll just get our lads up to the river. Thank you. Oh, you see, they've already got their instructions. They're just not listening. All right, well, there they are, running down that great chasm of a hill. Marvellous. This is the sort of place you go sandboarding when in the lovely Arabian deserts. Not that I've been, but it looks like the sort of place you would. Hopefully, you slide all the way across the bridge and into our spearmen. Marvellous, although these lads don't seem to know quite how to actually cover the front, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So we'll get these lads shut down as they enter. They're just going to stand there, are they? Well, that's fine. We have more men than them, but we will probably send all of our missiles on to just spread out mode. Get yourself nice and wide. That would be ideal, lads. There we go. Yeah. After a while, the javelin men decide to actually come in, but not actually throw their javelins. Just come in to get stabbed by our spearmen, which is quite marvellous. There's something jolly visceral about the arrows coming in on the bridge over here. Good work from us. 19% of them lost, 5% of ours. Few spearmen gunned down, a few of our horse archers, but honestly, this is very much lambs for the slaughter, as the chap said so eloquently at the start. I like this little bridge. Little hill here helps us a lot. What are these lads doing? I never even put them into position. Come on, come join the battle. Come join it. It's a lot of fun. We get to shoot down all of the Turkic fiends who come along. Now, anything decent? Yeah, I mean archers who are good if they actually sit them over there and actually shot at us. I mean archers possibly might have the range from over there. But certainly this crossing suits us, it must be said. Hard to cross over it. I mean, impossible to cross over it with those hills. But, oh yes, there come the cav. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so I think we'll be alright in future. We should be able to take up most of these lads and head into Aleppo today. Certainly seems to be a plan. We certainly need it. Our economy is in the toilet and we can't do anything. I can't pass that mission to go and blockade Kiev, unfortunately, because I simply don't have the ability to buy any boats or recruit any. So just to see how that goes. Now they are starting to get some troops into the front. So I'm just going to make sure my two general lads are here just backing up my infantry. Yeah, they're routing anyway. It's all fine. I didn't think there'd be too much problem here. But are they going to start fleeing through me? They are indeed. That's not going to go very well for them. Ah, they're running away again. They are running away. I think we're pretty much done. A few lads at the back and a few lads coming back in. But our arrows are pretty much doing the job for us. Horse archers, they are the best in all situations. And I don't have anyone else to tell me otherwise.
The enemy warlord lies dead. Now his men can sense their doom upon them.
Oh no, I did the thing where I pressed pause just as it showed the clip of him drowning, which means I've got to continuously press pause until we get through all of this. Come on. One day. One day. There we go. Enemy general has indeed fallen. Let's get these guys shooting again. The last volley of these lads are coming in. 54% or so. That will largely be chopped down to zero once we just get the final charge in. They do have some units here of decent size, but nothing that's going to actually cause us any issues. Honestly, without a general, I don't see how they'd ever really win this. They have pretty much smashed through the infantry or really pushed them back at this point, but we're going to hold. Our generals are going to keep fighting. They are there to... Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to charge them down my cav. Alright, all cav, get across. and clear them all out. Let's go. Yes! Another enemy general gone down. Perfect. Last few men then being chopped away. Continue the battle. 88% gone. Let's make it 100%. Here we go. Well, if we can make it 90, then it'll basically be 100%. 96. There we go. Absolute destruction to the Turkish forces. With only a few of their horse archers getting away, honestly, there is really nothing that is left for these lads. We can walk into Aleppo tomorrow at this rate. So this has been good. Certainly the Turkish, well, I said Turkish Crusade, they haven't joined the Crusade. I'm not sure they're going to be able to. I don't think they've got a force big enough. I don't really know what they've got around Kaisaria and towards their capital. Is it Ionicum? Something along those lines anyway. I'm not sure if they've got enough over there to join. Egypt join is helpful, albeit they attacked me after they joined. Nonetheless, we certainly could do with a few extra cities. So with Aleppo and Antioch gonna hopefully fall under our thumb pretty soon, we should be able to sort out our finances. Clear victory for us. Another great victory for Jaka Khan, the Honourable. Marvellous. So Matthew of Odessa, local lad, commentating on that. Now we're going to execute these guys potentially. I don't think they can afford the ransom. I don't really want to ruin the chivalry. Oh, they accepted. Okay, that's okay. Well, we're not going to walk in. We have chopped down a lot of them, and we have got some money. Although it's just kind of destroyed the deficit. Maybe that wasn't the best. Probably not the best decision. Probably should have looked at how much minus money I had. Oh well, all is fine. We'll just go and start to siege them out, shall we? I'm not sure how much money. I'm still losing tons of money. Okay, that was certainly the wrong decision. Oh well, all is fine. Hopefully we'll just attack them again on the bridge momentarily. So we'll see about that. We'll see about that. There are, though, some more Egyptians sort of wandering around. So it's probably time to clear off some of these lads and swing back towards the defence of Baghdad. Otherwise, we really don't have any options at the moment whilst we deal with all of these little wars and when we don't have any money. What I could do though is go to swing over to talk to the Poles. There are the Poles.
But why me?
Why you, sir? Well, I don't know. I feel like in time you should end up at war with those chaps next to you. Poland. Your enemies are Holy Roman Empire, but they are allies of Hungary. Interesting. Suppose it makes some sense. In time, though, I can imagine they're going to war with one of these two. They don't have Kiev, but it looks like they will take it if their army beats the Russians there. We'll see about that. They are indeed under siege, and I suspect this time whoever's got them under siege will succeed because it looks like Kiev's on its last knees now. It's a bit sad. It's a little bit sad. But there we are. Look at this lovely multi-religious city over there. And it looks like the Turks are going to give me a poker. Just put Aleppo under siege. And, well, it was quite a bit of a force. I wasn't going to go straight in. But if they want to attack me like this, that very much suits me. We can take these lads out. Some more random Steve peasants. We'll take these lads out without too many problems. And then pulling this guy out, stretching them out on a battlefield, I reckon we can take them. If, it's attacking a castle, that would be absolutely a nightmare. But in the field, I quite fancy my chances. Ratio 1-to-1. Let's head in, Khan. Let's head in. So as I get my spearmen into some sort of vague position to deal with the main force coming in, I'm just going to swing all my cavalry around. Turkoman's just going to pile, well, we're going to pile all of our units on the Turkomans. General's just going to plough straight into their javelin men. They are not very happy, I don't think. There they go. Into the spearmen as well. I don't mind about that with the general here. Are they going to break pretty much immediately? Not as quickly as I hoped. Pull back out then, General. Don't need to take unnecessary hits against the spearmen. They are shaken though, mind you. So I think it's probably time to just swing everyone round. That's melted them. And if we go into these lads, that'll pretty much clear off these lads immediately. Now my spearmen are largely into position, which is grand. Yeah, well, you guys go and cut them off, please. That'll be perfect. And if can we get another small band? Who have we got over here? 38 Separthis. Well, we probably want to send a few of you then. You three go and deal with them. That'll be fine. I'll just group you lads together. And you lads go and deal with them. You can join that group. That's fine by me. The rest of you, can you all swing on back over to the main force? And we'll go and deal with these lads over here. Well, since they won't come to me, I'm just sending everyone in to smash into these Separthis. They have immediately melted. All cavalry get into the next Separthis. They're stronger units. I think there's 3 of them. So we should really just clear them out nice and quick. Just storm them with mass of units. Not breaking easily, are they, those Separthis? That's a bit annoying. Oh, well, you pull out of there. General, you just stay in and chop them down because you can beat them in the 1-to-1. Nice and easy. And, okay, their general is now charging in, which means all of my cav just swing out. Swing out. Do what I'm telling you to. Okay, general, charge in. No, he doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it. Does he? I think he might, you know. I think he might. Get all of my cav in to support. General's going to charge into their general. That works for me. Yeah, we're a little bit warmed up, but in the whole, we are ready to go. Their general in against ours. Stuck and I'm surrounded. Yes! That is grand. This should be pretty simple from here because they are just a bunch of useless infantry. The Eastern lands never have good infantry on Total War. Ha 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 ha. Right, swing on in, all cav at this point. It's just a mopping up job, most likely. I think just charging into what's here will pretty much make them melt. There's not really much tactics in this battle, it's just a cavalry army charge. Seems to be what most of this campaign's about. I'm quite enjoying it though. So we'll just swarm these lads. They will regret being spearmen when they're surrounded by that many horses. And that's not going to go well from there. Turkish javelishmen are... Javelishmen! Turkish are next. And they are likewise going to melt. Without their general here, with a general as good as mine, I think they're going to melt straight away. It would be good to have some dread, actually. Because the wonderful thing about dread in battle is it means that you end up getting the enemy to rout instantly, which is quite fun. I've got chivalry here, which means I'm not so likely to rout. Now, I wouldn't mind a few of you just swinging over to those Turkish archers, because I am doing this a little bit too anarchically, even for my taste at this point. I mean, you know, you've got to do things fairly sensibly to some extent, haven't you, even if it's a bit mad. So let's just keep all of our units together, swinging over at those Separthis. They want to keep running away. No, we'll catch them eventually. There they are. They are melting, melting, and melting. So we can regroup. Regroup over here and just take out whatever's left. Yeah, okay. Swing over to the archers and down the hill here. We have the last few units of infantry archers over there. Suits me. Let's get the general in on these lads. Archers over there as well. Actually, can the main general swing to these ones? And at this point, with them going down... Oof, they did not like that. Town militia in fighting there.
Only half their men left.
Half of them? Only half? I thought I'd killed a lot more than that. Oh well, suits me. Get all my missile troops. Yeah, they're gone. They are gone, ladies and gentlemen. The Turks are pretty much dead. Widows and orphans, that's what they are. So, with this, we can pretty much waltz into Aleppo. Yep, we're going to do a beautiful Viennese waltz to celebrate. It's going to be magnificent. And a bit of cake to boot. I don't know what we're going to have, but it's going to be great because it's been a bit of a tough start in many ways. I've managed to take out a few cities early, but my economy has been ruined by the fact that I've had to be prepped for 2 of these wars. In fairness, mainly the economy is because I've been given gifts from the council of troops that I can't afford the upkeep of. Although, obviously, these heavy Mongol archers that I've got are not actually... Well, I've kind of made up the upkeep because normally they have 0. So if I'd left that, it would have been nice and easy at this point. But I did put them as 300 to upkeep, which has definitely left me a little bit struggling in terms of my economy because they're kind of the backbone of my army. Nonetheless, clear victory. Bodyguard gained experience there, both of them, which is just what you like to see. And that should be the city largely going, oh, I don't think this time. I don't think this time we'll let any of them go. No. Time for us to take a Hippo. Hippo is now ours. We're going to sack it, and that's fine. It's still quite usable. Aha, Milan of Mashhad. who is 4 experience, 4 command even, 4 chivalry, very loyal, which is important. And yes, good sets of traits on him. So very much accept him. Thieves Guild, I'll take a Merchants Guild, but not a lot else. Damascus, I might be able to take that in 15 turns time. Yeah, I can see that being possible. Diplomatic relations. So, aha. Okay, Russia and Poland are now at war. Russia and Hungary are no longer allies, which I suggest means Poland and Hungary have remained allies. And France and Poland are now allies too. Doesn't really matter. Portugal and Scotland endlessly at war. I imagine that is the Portuguese invasion of Wales, repeatedly going on and on and on. Turks abysmal. Honestly, I'm surprised it wasn't before. So I feel like that's okay. You don't feel appreciated because someone else did a battle at some point. Great, you're just a petulant little child, aren't you? Alas, let's just merge those lads and retrain there. To be honest with you, our lads are a bit knackered right now, and I could really do with the chance to retrain a few of them across our empire, actually. So we'll pretend... I really need to go and deal with the settings here. I think it's because when I fiddled with the preference file, because I've now made it... yeah, because I have changed it to being read-only, I suppose that means that it's not dealing with my preferences every turn. I don't know. Maybe it's something to do with that. So our spy can head straight into Antioch. See if he manages to sneak in. Is he going to pretend to be a shrub today? Indeed he is. So, Kalazhiov Helat is going to attempt to get in. Oh no, I think this time he's pretending to be a barrel of hay. The most marvellous of trade goods. No idea if he'll make it through. But I do like these little cutscenes. They're awfully fun. Oh yeah, we've got a dead corpse. Oh no. No. Ah, we're alright. There we go. Top level espionage there. Could have hit a little bit better than that, but luckily their guards are absolutely useless. Oh, they've got a catapult. That's not too bad. Oh yes, this is such a good city. Such a good city. 13,000. Not as big as I thought actually, but they've got themselves a merchant's wharf, which I could really do if I could start trading with the very rich Cyprus of Nicosia over there, which would certainly be ideal. So we're looking to move into Antioch ASAP. I don't know if my troops are alive enough to have one last push. It's not great, is it? Can I afford very much? Turkish archers wouldn't be the worst thing. Some more horse archers. I could just get some of those. Turkomans. Retrain 3 of those and I'll be ready to besiege it next turn. That might be a good idea. Or I could just get myself onto that bridge. I could just get myself onto that bridge, you know, and just leave those units behind. I'm not sure which 3 units I just put, but we'll just do that. Get ourselves there. They are largely the same units, so all is good. Yeah, we'll get that underway. We can't afford much else. That should be enough. These are 630. Not really worth it, I wouldn't suggest. I think we'd be alright. We haven't got a lot. I'm just going to merge those. These 5 can stay. They can just be a... I don't know, 5. They can be a cheerleaders. That'll be grand. Down here, merchant is almost all the way down here. Oh, okay. So he's actually 33. Might have a problem there, but we'll have a go. We'll see who else is around actually, because there's going to be some good trading to do over in that direction. Just make sure we have a good scouting on the... Okay, that is the epitome of not good scouting. We'll go and have a look at Damascus, shall we? Because I think that would certainly help us if we know what's going on there. Over here, I think we're finally, yes, finally our economy is back in a decent place. We've lost enough troops. That was the main thing when I played as the rebels. It's just if you lose enough men in battle sometimes, or you lose enough little battles, you actually end up with a better economy. I noticed when I watched other people get on with that campaign, actually, that because they just let so many little things go around the map, they lost more armies and actually a much better economy. I was trying to do so much around every corner of the map that actually, yeah, it made life a little bit more difficult for me. So, let's head in. Byzantines, Moors, Turks, blah, 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 blah. They're going to attack me on the bridge, or they're going to beg for peace now. I would have happily taken peace a few turns ago, sir. Or were you just going to do your fake talk? They wanted me to become a vassal. No. Also, it's completely pointless on this game. It's just meaningless as far as I'm concerned. They are squaring up to us on the bridge. They're sending more men over from Adana. Yeah, here we go. We're quite surrounded. It must be said. This could be tricky. This could be very tricky. Oh dear. Right. Well, I guess to finish us off today, we have this. It says 1-1. I guess because they're just little forces, we should be okay. But can't help but think this it's a little bit awkward. I suppose we've got three generals. Ah, the new chap's joined us. Well, that certainly helps. Certainly helps indeed. Well, I think we can use a couple of the generals to go and shield our rear while we deal with the guy at the front. Who's the one attacking us? It is the lad from the city with the 2 Saracen militia. Oh, I could take the Saracen militia. That would be lovely. I think we can get those. And the catapult. That will be grand. We can take that out without too many problems. Right, let's head in, and this will very much clear the way to Antioch. Our lads are going to stand there and defend, and now we're just going to charge into them with the general. Over here, we've got ourselves another charge with our 2 generals. They're going to smash into their archers, which should clear the way over here pretty easily. Main general over there is about to hit them with a charge. Yes, that should be a big hit on them. Marvellous. We'll just pull ourselves back. We'll go in for another charge. Very much suits me. Over this side, we are... Yep, that's good. He's gone. That is ideal. So we've dealt with that pretty efficiently, it must be said. Now, with those lads gone, and they're just starting to... Oh, they're just running into our general, are they? That's fine. These lads can swing into here. We should be able to break them without too many issues here. They'll see their friends break. They should break pretty much immediately afterwards. And the rest of you can just slowly bring yourself over here. What I need to avoid is this Oninger causing me trouble. You guys just run over there, deal with it now. General, pull out before it becomes an issue. So, Spearman, get yourself over there.
They have only half their men left.
These lads are over here. Who are you exactly? Are you the lads from... Not sure exactly which units they are. Not sure if they're the good archers or not. I'm not quite sure visually what the difference of the Sepafis are, but they're definitely the ones we need to worry about. So, we'll get ourselves back together and we'll go and finish these lads off. So for part 2 of the battle then, we have run across the bridge over towards Antioch, which I guess is somewhere in that direction down there. It's a nice little road that's going to lead us in that direction. Unfortunately, we can't take control of the catapults, which is slightly sad, but we can get our spear militia to line up in this kind of a position, which gives us a little bit of an angle for our cav, doesn't it? There we go. I didn't quite realise what was going on there. Let's get our cav to charge on into the Sepafis, because they're the main guys that I'm slightly worried about. They're in decent Sepafis. Spear militia, and back here more Sepafis. So indeed those are the slightly troublesome ones. But we'll just make sure our general supports the spearmen nicely here. Fortunately, we are going to be pretty much out of them, but the fortunate thing is we'll obviously have an economy back before very long. Woohoo! Because I'm kind of fed up of not having any money. It doesn't give me an awful lot to be doing. Charge yourselves in then, lads. Nice, healthy medieval 2 charge. I don't think we're really going to manage a proper charge here. A little bit. Not too shabby, and actually they are melting before us. Everyone just get in the Sepafis, because those are the guys I'm a bit worried about. In fact, all units just swinging into them at this point. Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it's over at this stage. Go and get the archers. That's another general down, and the Turks are pretty much a done force. They don't seem to have any generals over here. I'm guessing a few of them are still on the other side of their empire. But we have pretty much broken them here, because without Antioch, we have absolutely got the advantage. Now this will mean we need to worry about a defensive position, so it might be worth capturing Adana as a good place to block them off in the mountains. We'll see about that, but certainly once we've got Antioch, our economy will come back, good 90%, which means they'll all be gone, and this will really give us the... this really leaves us at the end of the beginning, I think, because with the Turks largely beaten, we've kind of built ourselves our own empire to work with here.
Ha! Our enemy is no more! We have won a clear victory.
Indeed we have. I just ended that sentence with the intonation of I'm going to cut the video here. But obviously he started talking, so there we are. 3 experience for that chap, who is he's in a brand new one as well. Wow. He loved a bit of a bloodbath, he does. So, once again, a load of men. We're just going to execute them because, honestly, I just want to go and take Antioch. It's too important at this stage to worry about any of that. So, Egypt want to chat. I'll happily take a ceasefire and trade rights if that's what you want. But you're going to demand me be a vassal, aren't you? Like a numpty. Come on. Come on. Ceasefire and trade rights. The diplomacy in Medieval 2 just does my nutting. There is just none at all, is there? Well, at least we've got ourselves some forces over here, and before we end up today's episode, it's worth considering where we are, I suppose. They have themselves their general there. I don't think they have enough to do an awful lot at this stage. Where is my spy? There you are. Oh, for Pete's mahogany. Well, it's fine. It's absolutely fine, ladies and gentlemen. We'll just get a big pile of ladders. That's actually all we need. Diplomatic information, nothing of real intrigue. Just Sicily being at war with everyone, which is pretty much normal. Look, 15th on population. Woo! We're not the worst. We're not the worst. Unfortunately, the best military is Egypt, which is a little bit terrifying, seeing as we are at war with them, and that we're not very good anyway. But nonetheless, we are we're doing all right. We've got ourselves a bit of an economy and a bit of a position to work with. We've now at least, well, we've extended our border into a slightly less defensible position, but with a much better economic position where we can then start trading with our allies over here, and where, well, once we've sacked this anyway, we'll be looking much, much healthier. We do, at the very least, have a tiny amount of money to be able to retrain the odds units, such as these experienced heavy archers, who I could do with getting back into the field. These guys and swing over to Aleppo, and Edessa over here. We'll get some more troops when we can afford them. But of course, before we end today, what we need to do is just rename Aleppo to its traditional name of a Hippo, because that is what I always do. Marvellous. So, we've had a great conquest of a Hippo and Antioch soon to follow. I think it's been a pretty productive day, don't you? Some tough type battles. We've lost a lot of men. I mean, just look at the state of this army. They're about 4 infantry at one point, but we are picking up lots of good generals. We're using our generals very well over here, gaining huge amounts of experience. All of our generals are just drowning in experience in battle. He's got 3, and he's not had to do anything in about a year. And this lad over here, he's a bit more to do because he's cheaping me with money. Miserable, miserable sod. Anyway, I will leave you until next time, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back next time, I guess it'll be the taking of Antioch and Adana and just tying up our borders, because that looks like a nice defensible position, I think. Don't you? So we will leave it. I'm Thomas, it's the Nerd, it's the Human, and this has been our Timurids campaign. Thank you, and bye-bye. So what more could you want in the morning than to chop down some Frenchmen? Sir Steve, he stands on the plaza. He will never die, Sir Steve. We will honour you with that great man's moustache. He's not happy. Oh, he flew into the side of the house. That looks really painful. Beautiful.